heard of someone keeping their children's teeth? What happens to those teeth? Do they get shoved in a jar somewhere to never be heard of ever again? Do they get lost with all the left socks? Well, now they don't have to. With resin, you can encase them in an object like a necklace or a paperweight and keep them forever. Hello everyone, my name is Christina Cobble. Thank you for being here. I create art using different mediums. Lately, I've been using resin to create objects. With help from a website called Resin Obsession, a YouTuber called Nerdy Crafter, and WikiHow page, I am going to tell you all about the different things you can do with resin, how to do it with resin, and the objects you might need to do it. Now let's jump into the interesting world of the things you can make with resin and learn all about it. There are many different items that can be created. It is literally endless. So here are some papers that show you some different objects that you can look at during my speech. For the fashionable, you can make earrings, rings, bracelets. For the household, you can make tabletops, countertops, floors, doorknobs, decorative items, magnets. I made some pumpkin magnets. And other items like shift knobs for vehicles and keychains. Now that you've heard about the objects that can be made, let's talk about the materials you might need. I used a kit called Alumilite Amazing Clear Cast. The kit comes with most of the things that you need to get started. It comes with your epoxy resin, the hardener, and 3 cups for mixing, along with some popsicle sticks to do the actual stirring. Additional items that you can use or that might be needed are silicone molds. They work wonderful. This was for fondant for a cake. They popped right out. I made these cute little shapes out of resin. Dry pigment for coloring the resin because it's otherwise clear. You can use alcohol-based ink to dye the resin. You can even do glitter to put in dry flowers. Now that you know what you need, I will tell you a little bit about how to use these items to get started. First, find somewhere that's safe. Resin is really messy, so you don't want to use your kitchen table unless you have something to protect it. You also need a well-ventilated area. With that said, other types of resin are toxic, so you're going to want to use gloves or you can get a skin irritation, and you want a face mask so you don't inhale all the fumes. You'll also want to put on clothes that you don't necessarily care about because if it gets on your clothes, it's not going to come out. To mix the solutions, you take the hardener and the epoxy resin and pour them into separate cups. I used a 1-to-1 ratio, so 5 milliliters of epoxy resin goes with 5 milliliters of hardener, and then you mix them into the 3rd cup and stir them together until it's clear. Take a heat source to pop the bubbles, because there will be bubbles, and then let it cure for 24 to 48 hours. Curing is when it turns hard and into a plastic, and then you can pop it out of the mold and enjoy. Now we have come to the end of the speech. I may have told you things that you may or may not have known already about resin. It is fun to work with and the possibilities are endless. Are there any questions? Yes.
Could you take these little shapes and make scenery and then have a bigger block?
You can, yes. And a lot of artists do that. Is there any more questions? Well, thank you all very much.